Welcome back to Craftsman David and welcome to my workshop here in 2020. I have a real short video for you guys today. I'm going to rearrange my workshop to make it a little bit more like my old workshop actually. And I'm going to put up a big wall of pegboard right here. After I do that, this silver ladder behind me will become very difficult to take off the wall and get out with this pegboard wall in place. So I need to move the big ladder. So instead of having my ladder taking up valuable wall space, I'm going to put it right here and have it take up less valuable ceiling space. First thing I'm going to do is figure out how far down from the ceiling I want it to go. Now my garage door opener is about 15 inches below the ceiling, so I'm going to try to keep the ladder about an inch above that. I'll go 14 inches below the ceiling, and then I'm going to make my ladder rack here. So the design of my first ladder support, I'm going to use a dowel, and then I'm going to put a PVC pipe on it so that the ladder can roll over it. So I've already pre-cut my support arms here with one square side, and now I'm going to set my center point. It's a 1-inch dowel, so I need to go a ½ inch further down, go to 14.5, and now I will scribe an arc. Now I'm going to drill that at my drill press. If you don't have a drill press, you can also just use a hand drill and a 1-inch, any 1-inch bit. And now I'm going to cut the radius out with the jigsaw. Now I'm going to clean up this radius here at the disc sander, mainly because I want it to look a little bit nicer. This is really just an optional step. Now to mount my boards to the ceiling, I'm going to use pocket holes. This is not one of those little pocket hole jigs. This is the HD pocket hole. So just for comparison, this is a standard pocket hole screw. This is an HD pocket hole screw. I'm going to use these to go straight up into my ceiling joists. There you have it. Now if you don't have a pocket hole jig like this, don't worry. You can go to the home center and buy this perforated angle iron stuff. It's usually found by the garage door openers. Make brackets out of it by cutting it up, and you screw part of it to the board, the other part to the ceiling, and there you have it. So next I want to hang my first bracket, and first I need to find where the ceiling joists are at. You'll need a good stud finder. Luckily in my case, I want to hang them on the same joist that this thing is hung on, so I know there's a joist about right here, about right there, but I'm going to confirm it.
Now attaching the first bracket to the joist.
Now when I put the second bracket up, I want to do it with the dowel in place, that way I know the holes will line up. The dowel fits pretty tight in the holes I drilled, so I'm going to cut it to length first. I know that's going to go out there, so I'm going to mark just a little bit longer than I need on this dowel. There we go, and while I was at it, I also marked and cut the length of my PVC pipe. Ha ha ha, there we go. Now I'm making progress. Oh, I just broke my clamp. Don't make them this tight, guys. I just broke my clamp. That stinks. Alright guys, after a little persuasion, I finally got this where I wanted it. Now I can screw it to the ceiling. This little nub that sticks out, I'm going to cut off with a handsaw. Well guys, I know this dowel went in pretty tight, but I want to make sure it stays in with wood shrinkage and whatnot. I'm going to put a nail from the edge all the way in like this, just to catch it. Alright, this first one's done. PVC pipe rolls nicely. I'm going to do a little test. Oh boy, I hope it holds. Hey, it holds me. Should hold the ladder. Alright, I've already cut all my pieces and I've cut the pocket screws for the other bracket. You'll notice this is not a roller bracket, it's just flat. and this one's just going to be simply connected with a screw joint like this. Notice how I have the screws going from the side into the middle. You don't want to do it this way because then it'll put a tension load on the screw, and when you're screwing into end grain, it could pull out over time. It's safer to do it this way where you're putting a shear load on the screws.
And now you can see how the whole system is going to work. With a helper, you bring the ladder in and get it started on the roller bracket. After your helper is standing clear of the door, you close it, you come back to the ladder, lift it up and put it into the fixed side of the bracket, and here the roller side really helps to get the alignment right on the fixed side. Now notice you don't want the bracket so far apart that the ladder could fall through.
I'd say that works well. Yes, honey, your man is a genius. What can I say?
A clamp takes care of that pesky rope.
Well, I'd say this ladder rack worked pretty well. Just like I envisioned it. You put one end in that way, you close the door, and then you slide it into the other bracket. And this is going to hold real nice. I don't know if I actually want to test it and hang on here, but I think it would work. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe so you'll see my future videos. Bye, everyone.